There are creatures in folklore so disturbing, so utterly nightmarish, that even speaking their names was considered dangerous. Today, we dive into one of the most horrifying monsters ever conceived by human imagination, from the windswept shores of Scotland's Orkney Islands. Picture yourself on an Orkney beach in the 1800s. The wind howls, the waves crash against black rocks, and then you see it. A horse-like creature rises from the sea, but this is no horse. It has no skin. Raw, red muscle glistens in the moonlight. Black blood pulses through yellow veins as thick as your arm. Its massive head sways on a neck too long, too flexible, and riding on its back is something worse. Human torso fused directly into the horse's spine. Arms that drag along the ground, impossibly long. A head that lolls and sways, mouth gaping, breathing out a toxic mist that withers everything it touches. This is the Nuckelavee, and if you've seen it, you're probably already dead. The Orcadian folklore is clear. The Nuckelavee brings drought, disease, and death. Crops fail where it walks. Animals sicken and die. Its very breath is poison, and it has a special hatred for humans. There's only one protection: fresh water. The Nuckelavee cannot cross running streams. In the old stories, the only people who survived encounters with this demon were those who made it across a river before the creature could reach them. So why would the people of Orkney create such a monstrosity? To understand the Nuckelavee, we need to understand life in the Orkney Islands. These islands sit at the edge of the North Atlantic, battered by storms, isolated from mainland Scotland. For centuries, Orcadians survived by fishing and farming in one of Europe's harshest environments. Life was precarious. Entire fishing fleets could be lost in sudden storms. Crops could fail from disease or drought. Livestock could be decimated by mysterious illnesses, and the people had no scientific explanations for these disasters. The Nuckelavee became the explanation. It embodied every environmental threat the islanders faced. Drought? The Nuckelavee. Epidemic among the livestock? The Nuckelavee. Poisoned wells? The Nuckelavee's breath. But there's something deeper here. Unlike many folklore monsters, the Nuckelavee isn't just dangerous. It's wrong. Its skinless body, the fusion of horse and rider, its toxic nature. This is a creature that violates the natural order. Scholars believe the Nuckelavee represents not just fear of disaster, but fear of disease and corruption. The skinless appearance suggests plague victims, or those afflicted with severe skin diseases. The toxic breath? Perhaps memories of actual toxic algae, blooms that killed fish and sickened people. The Nuckelavee's origins likely blend Norse and Celtic mythology. Orkney was ruled by Vikings for centuries, and the creature's name possibly derives from Nokken or Nicker, Scandinavian water spirits, but those spirits were usually just mischievous or dangerous. The Nuckelavee is something more. It's actively malevolent, a force of pure destruction. Here's what's fascinating. Orcadian folklore also includes the sea myther, a positive goddess who battles the Nuckelavee each spring, driving it back into the sea and allowing summer to come. This creates a mythological explanation for the seasons. The Nuckelavee represents winter, death, and disease. The sea myther represents summer, life, and health. Their eternal struggle explains why some years are harsh and others are mild. It's environmental storytelling at its finest. But there's also a social function here. The fear of the Nuckelavee kept people away from dangerous coastal areas during storms. The rule about fresh water running between you and the sea? That's actually practical advice. It means you're on high ground, safe from storm surges and flooding. The most detailed Nuckelavee encounter was recorded in the late 1800s by folklorist Walter Trail Dennison, who documented the testimony of a man named Thomas. Thomas was walking home along the coast one moonlit night when he encountered the creature on the path ahead. He was trapped, cliffs on one side, the sea on the other, and the Nuckelavee blocking his way forward. He tried to retreat, but the creature followed. Its massive head swayed back and forth. Its long arms dragged in the dirt. The toxic breath made Tamas's eyes water and his lungs burn. Then Tamas remembered. There was a small stream ahead, one that crossed the path. If he could reach it, he ran. The Nuckelavee pursued, its grotesque body moving with terrible speed. Tamas could hear its labored breathing, feel the heat of its skinless flesh. He leaped across the stream and collapsed on the other side. The Nuckelavee stopped at the water's edge, shrieking in rage, unable to cross. It circled for hours while Tamas huddled on the far bank, too terrified to move until dawn. When the sun rose, the Nuckelavee retreated into the ocean. Tamas went home and immediately fell, ill with a fever that lasted weeks. But he survived. Today, few Orcadians claim to believe in the Nuckelavee. But the stories persist, passed down through generations. Because the Nuckelavee represents something universal, the terror of forces beyond our control, the fragility of human life in the face of nature's power. It's a reminder that folklore isn't just entertainment. These stories helped people process trauma, explain the unexplainable, and survive in harsh environments. They encoded practical wisdom and gave communities a shared framework for understanding disaster. The Nuckelavee may not be real, but what it represents, disease, drought, death, and the constant threat of nature's wrath, those are very real indeed. And on stormy nights in Orkney, when the wind howls and the sea crashes against the rocks, it's hard not to wonder what might be rising from those dark waters. Next time, we'll explore another creature from the shadows of mythology. Until then, stay away from the shore. And if you learned something from this story, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.